Hello, hello, hello. As soon as I go live, somebody tries to call. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 10:39 a.m. I am here in the Poconos. It is raining with a little bit of sleet. And I wanted to come to you guys live today, especially because today I have lost 50 pounds since I started my journey. Hey, Barry. And today is day 147, I believe. Day 147 on my journey. And over the last 147 days, I have received a lot of Facebook messages. I have received a lot of text messages. I've received phone calls. One, saying congratulations on your weight loss journey, but two, everybody has the same question. Actually, the same two questions. What are you doing? And how are you doing it? Those are the two biggest questions that I get. And I want to go over with you guys what I have done so far to lose my 50 pounds in 147 days. And I'm not done. My goal is to lose 58 pounds by April 28th. April 28th is my 6-month mark. And the whole reason that I started this journey on October 31st, I think was my day one, was because on October 31st, I went to my family doctor for a checkup. They actually I had blood drawn a week prior to that, and this appointment on October 31st was to go over the results of that blood that was drawn. And I knew I was diabetic going a year back, but excuse me, I kind of watched what I was eating. Lost like 5 to 10-ish pounds, but then gained it back within that last year and didn't pay much attention to it. But on October 31st, when I went back to the doctor, and she said your A1C level is 8.7, and I'm like, well, that's high, isn't it? And she said, yes, you need to be below 5.6 or below. You're at 8.7. I said, okay. And she started to, she said a couple things to me that were shocking. And if she said them to scare me, it worked, okay? She said, you're, actually the first thing she said was, her exact words were, I'm surprised you have not had a stroke or a heart attack by this point. She said, I'm surprised you have not had a stroke or heart attack by this point. And I said, wow, that's okay. I said, what makes you say that? And what she did was she actually drew a picture on paper of a circle about 6 inches big. And then inside the middle of that circle, she drew another circle of like a 2-inch circle. That 4 inches, I got somebody messaging me here. I'm trying to delete this. That 4 inches of space between the 2-inch circle and the 6-inch circle, she started to color in with her pencil. She said, these are your arteries, your veins. And this is the blood flow going through this little tiny hole when it should be going through this whole big hole. And that's one of the things that's going to cause you to have a stroke or a heart attack. My first thought was, I remember about 10-ish years ago, my brother-in-law had a stroke, paralyzed the whole right side of his body at that time, and he was only 37 at that time. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. So when she told me that scared the living daylights out of me. I said, and I didn't want that to happen to me. That's the first thing I thought of, because I've got 3 kids, my wife at home and everything, and I didn't want anything like that happening to me. So I said, okay, what do I have to do? And she started telling me about healthy foods. She, not so much about a diet, but about eating healthy and exercising. So I said, okay. So I remember other friends of mine telling me, and I've downloaded it before in the past, the MyFitnessPal app. And what I did was I downloaded that app, and this was on October 31st. I mean, when the doctor said these things to me, my brain just switched instantly, because I thought of what I was putting myself at risk at, and the thought of having a stroke or heart attack, which can kill you, and my family, my 3 kids and my wife being without the dad and the husband, literally just scared the shit out of me. It really did. And that's what started me on my journey on that day. Instantly. It was instant. So I downloaded the MyFitnessPal app, and I put into the MyFitnessPal what my goals are. I want to lose 58 pounds in 6 months, and I want to lose roughly 2 pounds a week. So it said, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to stay under 1,970 calories a day. Hey, Gary. And the doctor, when I was there, she said, you need to go to the gym 3 days a week. I said, okay. So that day, I set up my plan. I went out and I bought some healthier food. Now, no dieting. At no time whatsoever have I dieted, okay? All I do is I stay under 2,000 calories a day, and I go to the gym 4 days a week. That is my whole secret. If I were to write a book, that's what it would say. It would be 2 pages. Stay under 2,000 calories a day and go to the gym 4 days a week. End of story. And when people message me and they say, what are you doing? What diet are you on? And I tell them those 2 things, they're like, oh, really? That's it? Yeah, that's it. When I had my visit on December 31st, my next doctor visit, at that point, I lost 25 pounds at that point, and my doctor said, what are you doing? I said, simple, doc, I'm staying under 2,000 calories a day, and I'm going to the gym. And the doctor goes, he goes, imagine, at first he goes, wow, he goes, you took the advice of your doctor, and it worked. I said, yeah. He goes, imagine if other people would take the advice of their doctor, just like you did. Imagine how much healthier they would be. But people don't. And I asked my doctor, I said, why? I actually work with 2 different doctors. I said to this gentleman, I said, why do people go on diets? He said, very simple answer, Tom. People go on diets because they're looking for a quick fix. Keto, South Beach diet, all of that stuff. He said they're all diets, they're all fad diets. He goes, Atkins, he goes, they come and they go. They're popular, then they're not. What diet are you on? What diet are you on? What diet are you doing? Everybody wants to be doing, I'm doing South Beach diet, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. When in reality, all you have to do is stay under a certain calorie count and go to the gym, get some exercise. That is all you have to do, okay? And that's all I've done. Today is day 147. That's all I've done to lose my 58 pounds. And I have 8 more pounds to go to hit my goal. Now, at that point, I started at 278 pounds. And my goal is to hit 220 by April 28th. That is going to be my 58 pounds. Right now, this morning, I weighed myself, I hit 50. So, how did I do that? What did I do? The very first thing I did was I went on YouTube and I researched prepping food or prepping meals for like 2,000 calories a day, that kind of stuff. And I started to find, oh my God, there's probably hundreds. And hundreds of videos that I saw. I didn't watch them all, obviously, on how to meal prep. So I went on Amazon and I bought the containers, the meal prep containers, about 20 of them, I believe. I started eating more chicken. I added a lot more vegetables into my daily intake, more berries like cranberries, blueberries, strawberries. I cut out pretty much all fruit. No bananas, no apples, no oranges, no grapes. And I loved eating those foods. I always thought, well, they're healthy for you, but not realizing at the time that they're all high in natural sugars. And because I'm diabetic, I need to keep my sugar level down. So I cut out all of those. And what I do is I prep my meals every Sunday. Now, I didn't do it yesterday. I'm going to be probably prepping meals today. A lot of chicken, a lot of steak, a lot of all kinds of mixed vegetables. I do the Greek yogurts, which are 80 calories for a cup. Every single morning I have oatmeal. I have 1 cup of oatmeal, 1 cup of mixed berries, and sometimes I'll add a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and the maple syrup is sugar-free. And that 1/4 cup of maple syrup that I use has only 15 calories in it. That's usually my breakfast. So I've got a breakfast for under 400 calories right there. I will do, if I get hungry for snacks, usually between breakfast and lunch, I'll have a snack, and between lunch and dinner, I'll have another snack. The snack usually, I've got one here, usually consists of, where is it? Like a Think bar like this, which is a protein bar. You can see this has 20 grams of protein, has no sugar. Is that no sugar? Yep, no sugar. And it is 230 calories. This is a brownie one. There are peanut butter and chocolate ones. There's the brownie ones. There are always, Gary, do you use a scale? You mean a scale to weigh my food or a scale to weigh myself? If it's a scale to weigh my food, I absolutely do. Yes, for food, yes. When I do my meals, I already, actually on a little post-it note, I figure out how many calories that meal is going to be, literally as I'm making my meals. And I've done videos on this before, and I've posted pictures on my Facebook wall. But like a turkey burger is, I know a turkey burger is 200 calories. I know 6 ounces of chipped steak that I do is 4 ounces. I know that 6 ounces of chicken is 200 calories. I mean the calories. And I'll figure out, okay, 1 cup of mixed vegetables is usually around 70 calories. So I have the 1 cup of that. And then I have chicken, steak, turkey burger. And I keep my pre-done meals to like 450 calories or less per meal. And then I add a 80 calorie Greek yogurt, or maybe something like this. I use these. I also use the Kind bars that come. Actually, my ShopRite has them. Has 5 bars for $3, which is really cheap. As far as the scale for home for my weight, the first, let's see, I've been doing this now for 5 months now. It's been 5 months. Probably my first 3.5 months, I weighed myself every Tuesday. I would have what I call my Tuesday weigh-in, which would be in my own bathroom at home. Wake up in the morning, fully dressed down, and then weigh myself. And every Tuesday on my calendar that I have, actually that sits in the bathroom because I write notes every day, I would have my weight. And about a month and a half ago, I actually started weighing myself every single day. And it was because I knew that my deadline of April 28th was coming up, and I was literally at my halfway point of where I wanted to be weight-wise. And I wanted to keep myself on track even more. So every single morning I weigh myself and I write down in my calendar, and this is on paper, and I've actually posted pictures the other day of my calendar, what it looks like. I write down what I weigh, and I write down what I weigh to the ounce. Okay, so if I weigh 240.5 240.7, I write 240.7, okay? And the reason I do that is because when I weigh myself the next day, if I weigh 240.2, then I know that what I've done the day before was on track and I've lost like 4 ounces, you know, eating wise, exercise wise, and I know that I'm good. So I weigh myself every single morning to keep myself on track. If I see that it's up a half a pound or a pound, I know, okay, that day I've got to adjust. I've got to maybe eat maybe 100 less calories that day, or do some more cardio for my workout instead of so much weight training. And it works. It works. Every day I've been doing that, and it works. So I write down 3 things in my little calendar block every day in my bathroom. I write down how many calories. At the end of the day, before I go to bed, I write down how many calories I had that day. I write down my weight for that day. And if I've gone to the gym, I write the word gym at the bottom of that little block. And I can actually tell you since October 31st how many times I've gone to the gym, what days I've gone, because I have them all marked from day 1. So, and that, a big help of me keeping on track of what I need to do is preparing all my meals. So, I'll end this with this. My A1C when I started this, October 31st, was 8.7. It's gone down. I had it tested. I actually have I have access to a kit that the doctors use where I get an answer when I draw my own blood within 5 minutes. I started at 8.7 October 31st. Right now I'm at 6.3 in 5 months. 6.5 and below is considered pre-diabetic. I mean, there's a bunch of different answers to that. A bunch of different doctors say the same thing, but 6.5 and below is pre-diabetic. So, thank you, Tara, thank you. So, that means that I've gone from the full-blown diabetic stage, where my doctor actually on October 31st said I could send you home with needles and insulin shots today. And I said, that's not going to happen. What do I have to do? So I guess that I'm just really realizing this now as I mention this, that I'm actually not considered pre-diabetic. And I have to go to my goal is 5.6 or below by April 28th. That's a full 6 months. And I can fully say out loud that I have fully reversed my diabetes. That's the goal. That's the goal. If I hit it a week or 2 after that, that's fine. But my mindset and my goal is to fully reverse my diabetes by April 28th. Another little tip, another little thing that I do that actually helps me is every Tuesday from the beginning of my journey to April 28th, every Tuesday on my calendar block, at the bottom of that block, I have a number written down. 240. The next Tuesday, 238, 236, 232, or 234, 232. It goes down 2 pounds every Tuesday. That is the weight that I need to be on that particular Tuesday to hit my goal. My weight for tomorrow, as a matter of fact, the number on my calendar says 230 is what it says. So tomorrow I need to weigh at least 230, and today when I got on the scale it said 228. So I'm kind of 2 pounds ahead of schedule, which means that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to hit my goal a week before my date. So Gary, so once you get what's called normal levels, how does that work? Well, I've talked to many people. I've talked to friends of mine that do bodybuilding. I've talked to friends of mine that are nutritionists and know a lot about this kind of stuff. And once I get down to the weight where I'm comfortable, and I was told by a good friend of mine, Brad, that it's not so much the weight that the scale says. He said, you keep doing what you're doing to lose weight until your waist gets to where you want it to be. Now I can tell you so far, just from my belt, with me having to poke in new holes, that I've already lost 6 inches around my waist, which is awesome. And my buddy Brad said, listen, don't worry about the scale so much. Worry about where your waist is. Do you keep working until you get to where your waist is that you want? That's probably going to be like a 34-inch waist. Right now, I'm a 36-inch waist. And I started at 42, I believe. Yeah, because my work pants at that point were 42. I had to buy all new pants already. So that's the goal. But for me, I think that weight number is going to be around 205 to 210. I think that's where it's going to be. So once I get to that point, then I go into what my friends tell me is maintenance mode, where I can start to add a little bit more to my food intake a day, meaning I always stay under 2,000 calories a day. So once I get to maintenance mode, I can maybe start eating 2,100 calories a day, okay, of regular food, not burgers and fries, of regular food. And then I can, and I continue to exercise like I do 4 days a week, and I start adding, okay, 2,100 calories a day, and I'm going to weigh myself every day and see, am I still losing weight? I am. Okay, maybe I can go up to 2,200 calories a day, and try that and wait a week and see what a week is like at 2,200 calories a day. And if I start to gain weight, then I know, okay, I got to cut back. I'm going to go back to that 2,100 calories a day. So you have to kind of find your maintenance mode, or where your maintenance mode is going to fall. So that's how I'm going to tackle that when that point comes. And then I'm not so much going into muscle building mode. I'm just going to be going into my maintenance mode. I got to plug my phone in here because my battery's getting ready to die. Okay. So there we go. So I just had to plug my phone in here and I thought it shut off for a second. What else can I tell you guys that I've been doing? Oh, I'm actually sitting here at Wawa parking lot, but I haven't gone in. And I actually cut out going to Wawa the day I started my journey. When I went back 30 days before I started this, I went through my checking count and I looked at all the times I stopped at Wawa, because I was at that point mostly outside sales, and I would stop at Wawa 1 time, sometimes 2 times a day, 5-6 days a week. And I discovered I was spending $50 a week by stopping at Wawa for lunch, for snacks, for coffees. $200 a month average is what I was spending at Wawa. So right there, I've already started saving $200 a month by not going to Wawa and getting my junk food. I keep my snacks and stuff in the car. I don't feel my levels going as crazy now as it did 4 months ago, because my body has totally changed. What I do now, or what I've been doing, is a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. I can tell you that when I had my doctor appointment last October, my triglycerides were 501. When I went back to my doctor on December 31st, my triglycerides were 128, which is crazy, tremendous in that 2-month time frame. Cholesterol was up high. Now it's down to normal. I do take the metformin pills. I actually took them for my first 30 days, and then I did not renew my prescription again. And then it was about a week ago I actually renewed my prescription for metformin, because my wife and mother kept bugging me. So, but I still continued to lose weight. My levels dropped without it. Gary, hunger cravings. In the beginning, in the first 3-ish weeks, I got a lot of hunger cravings, and it was very tough for me to stay under the 2,000 calories. I found myself the first week hitting around 2,500 calories, sometimes 3,000 calories a day, because I was so used to eating fast food 2 or 3 days a week, and just not worrying about it. But it took it took a week for me to get under 2,000 calories, if I'm remembering correctly, and it took about 3 weeks before the cravings went away to the point where I felt like I was under control of them. I noticed pretty quickly that as soon as you start adding better foods into your diet, and by better foods I actually mean the foods that we're really all supposed to be eating, the vegetables, you know, the healthy kind of stuff, not fast food, not candy, not junk, not popcorn. Once I started adding healthy foods, the foods that we're supposed to be eating, into my body, after about 3 weeks, my cravings diminished, I'm going to say about 80%. And I noticed that quickly. And that was a big help for me in actually overcoming my cravings. And actually, that's the time when I actually started these little bars as well. This and the Kind bars, I would actually have, no matter what, in the morning I have one between my breakfast and lunch, and then no matter what, if I'm hungry or not, I'll have one between lunch and dinner, because I know that if I do that, that actually helps to cut out cravings also. Somebody messaged me before about cheat meals. You probably saw me do a live about a week ago where I was at Wendy's parking lot with the Wendy's bacon double sandwich and large fries. That is my weakness. I had that probably 3-ish times during my 5 months, and it helps me to, well, it does a couple of things. It helps me to stay under control, and it's kind of like a little reward for me, for myself, is I know that if I go and I am good for a week, then on Tuesday I'll go to Wendy's. You know, it's kind of like a little kid. When you do good, you get a reward, you get a star. Well, that meal is my star. And those meals, they don't always sit right with your system. I'll tell you this right now, because the grease alone will clear you out. It'll clear you out. But I still managed to have my 2-pound weight loss that week. So, and the more you get into this, the less cravings you have for food like that. After eating healthy, when I eat fast food, my stomach gets upset. Oh, it'll get very upset, and it'll be pissed off at you, and you'll be in the bathroom for a little while. So, but you know, it's because your body's not used to that anymore. It's used to this other stuff. I don't have cheat days. I've had friends of mine, I've had actually many friends of mine say, listen, make Sunday your cheat day. Okay, Sunday's your cheat day. You eat whatever you want on Sunday. Obviously, don't go too crazy, but eat whatever you want on Sundays. And for the first 2 weeks, I did that, and I was trying to stay under 2,000 calories a day during the week. And all of a sudden, on Sundays, I'm eating like 4,000 or 5,000 calories. And the whole goal is to at the end of the week to have a caloric deficit added to your gym time, and a caloric deficit is, say you're at 2,000 calories a day, you only eat like maybe 1,800 calories that day. Well, now you're in a 200 calorie caloric deficit. When you go to the gym and work out, if you burn off 500 calories, you add that 200 calories to the 500, now you're in a caloric deficit of 700 calories for that day. But I don't add my workout calories that I burn to my caloric deficit. I kind of look at that as just like a bonus. So 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. And my goal at the end of each week is to be in a caloric deficit of 7,000 calories. That's 2 pounds. And I get that by staying under 2,000 calories a day and going to the gym 4 days a week. So if I do that, then I know I've lost weight. Now, it's getting harder for me to lose weight because I'm getting close to my end goal. So I've actually taken it down to 1 to 1.5 pounds per week to lose. Still going to the gym 4 days a week, still doing everything. I'm trying to think of anything else. That's it. I just track everything daily. I have written on paper on a calendar, not in my phone. I have it on a calendar in my bathroom because every day I want to see it. I prep all my food. I watch a boatload of videos on food prepping and caloric intake and body mass and stuff. I keep snacks in the car in case I get hungry. This actually helps me to not go to Wawa. I measure everything. When I have creamer in my coffee in the morning, I measure that. I get a 1/4 cup of creamer that I like at home, and I measure that and I put it in a cup. I measure everything. If it goes in my mouth, I measure how many calories are going in there so I know what I've done for that day. And if I'm not sure of the calories, I'll overestimate. If I think, if I think it's more calories than what I'm being told, I'll add more. What's your fluid consumption? A boatload of water and a boatload of Turkey Hill Diet Iced Tea. I love Turkey Hill Diet Iced Tea. I've been drinking that since I was probably 16 or 17. I'm now 48. And I love that stuff. And if you look at the nutritional facts, it is all zeros. 0 calories, 0 fat. It is 0 everything. And when I read that label, when I started my journey, I said a prayer to God and I said, thank you, Lord, for making this good enough for me to drink on a daily basis. So that is what I drink. As far as my intake, meaning the amount, I just drink all day long. I pee like there's no tomorrow. I drink all day long. I don't have a drink in the car with me now because I just ran to the post office to mail some stuff off for some sales I had overnight for eBay. And it's near my house. But I am constantly drinking water. I'm constantly, well, not as much iced tea as water, but I drink probably 75% water and the other 25% iced tea. But I always have a cup of water in my hand or some sort of thermos or something so that I have it there. Plus it helps to keep me full, so which is a big help between meals. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. So I have no idea how long I'm going on here. I don't even know if anybody's still on yet, maybe except for Gary. But I'm going to end it with this, guys. If anybody needs any help, I mean, obviously I'm not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a personal trainer. Thank you, Gary. I am just a guy who has been on the other side of diabetes, who set a plan in place, who learned a lot of shit and put it into action. And now 5 months later, I've lost 50 pounds and I'm not done yet. But I knew I was going to do this video when I hit the 50-pound mark. I just didn't know when it was going to be. So I'm pretty much just sharing my story. I've had people, I've actually had 3 people in the past say to me within the last 2 months, Tom, you should write a book on how to reverse your diabetes. And I said, well, like I just said before when I first started the live, it would be only a 2-page book. 1, stay under 2,000 calories a day, and 2, go to the gym. The end. I don't know how well that book would sell. So, but that's it, guys. If anybody has any questions or wants to know more about what I've done, you can always, if you're watching this, obviously you can message me through Facebook. I'd be happy to talk to anybody. I've even had a doctor from St. Luke's who's a Facebook friend who I've never met, who has been watching my journey and reached out to me, and we actually talked on the phone because he was curious about what I was doing. I'm not even his patient. I never even met the guy, but this gentleman from St. Luke's, this doctor, contacted me wanting to know what you're doing. How's it working for you? Which was made me feel really good. That was an amazing day for me about 3-4 weeks ago. So that's it for now, guys. I'm sure I probably talked for way too long. So hopefully maybe a couple of guys maybe got a little bit of value out of this to help. You can always message me if you have any questions, whatnot, if there's any way I can help. So see you guys later. See ya.